Welcome everyone to the Narrative Podcast, and I am your host, Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is the home of original people positivity and original people reciprocity. Welcome all my narrators. Welcome to all newcomers. Anybody new that maybe just have stumbled across this broadcast today, welcome to you. So all my narrators knows what my platform is about. So I'm just going to go over what this podcast is about to anybody new. Okay, so first of all, it's called the Narrative Podcast. It's called the Narrative Podcast for a reason. It is me changing the narrative to combat the false narrative that the mainstream liberal media portrays about original people and original culture. So when I say original people, what do I mean? I mean Black people. I've recently elected to stop saying the word Black on my platform and replace it with original people for obvious reasons. So that's what I refer to us as on my platform as original people. So basically, they weave false narratives by projecting and portraying us in a negative light, and basically producing and perpetuating negative stereotypes about us and our culture. So I wanted to create a platform where I'm celebrating our successes and highlighting and showcasing us at our best instead of at our worst, and basically, dispelling and disproving these negative stereotypes that they come up with about us and our people. And the main way I combat the negative stereotypes is by providing positive frames of reference about our people and our culture. So I provide stories about leadership, entrepreneurship, and just basically us being a beautiful people who are dutiful, that we are leaders and we are good parents, good role models, and basically enhance the human experience on this planet, rather than being portrayed as a drain on the resources and always, in violence with each other and whomever we come in contact with. See, what they do is they hypercriminalize men, hypersexualize women, and just, have us looking and sounding all kind of bad. So on my platform, what I do is just basically normalize being normal. Because these negative stereotypes that they come up with us are not normal. It's not normal to, grow up in dysfunction. It's not normal to be, engaged in drug activity, before adulthood, whether you're selling or using. It's not normal to, be an underage female with like multiple fathers for children, or like having multiple children before age 21. While it does happen, pardon me for that, my forward brushed up against my sound effect. But anyway, like I said, I just normalized being normal, original people, taking care of business, taking care of the community, taking care of each other. It's not about being perfect. Some stuff does happen. The reason why we do have some dysfunction is because of the way the system is structured. And, the constant manipulation of information, and the way they, the way they just put together news stories, and just the way they attack our psyches with all these negative stereotypes and isms and just stigmas that they attack us with. But anyway, over here is basically a love fest. I celebrate the culture. I celebrate us, at our best. This is a live broadcast day, so what I usually do on days like these is I just share positive articles, and then delivering commentary, if I have any, about current events, anything going on in the world. And then also, give a quick breakdown of my format for a normal broadcast day. But yeah, so I'm going to dive into these articles in just a sec. I also just wanted to unveil my tagline for all the new people listening today. So my tagline is: the Narrative Podcast, changing the narrative one episode at a time by destroying negative stereotypes about original people and original culture. And so what I would like to do is to inspire anyone who listens to my podcast to, change the narrative one post at a time on social media, because we are all narrators. That's what I mean. I call my listening audience my narrators, because we have the power to change the narrative with these handheld devices and, computers and tablets that we're in front of for most of the day, by the content that we post. Because a lot of these negative stereotypes, quite frankly, we generate a lot of them with the content we're posting online. So if we're always posting gang culture and drug culture and, just violence for the sake of violence, then, they're going to, the powers that be, the algorithm, or however, the internet is controlled, they're going to just collect their data and assume, based on the data they collected, that that's, what we want to see. And they're going to create content that are reflective of, what we're posting online. So they're going to make television shows, advertisements, you name it, all geared towards these, negative stereotypes that we're posting online. But if we take our times and post positive content, that can help shift and tip the scales a little bit. So, it's not the end all be all to, the solution, but per se, but it is definitely a step in the right direction to post positive content. So if you are a content creator, I advise you to, have a segment in your show, where you're posting or speaking about something positive going on in our community, in our world. All right, so I'm gonna dive right on into these articles. First article I ran across. The headline reads, "Meet the couple and founders of the only veteran Black-owned gene company in the world." So first of all, the company's name is CMB Denim, and the CM stands for one of the founders' initials is Charles and Tara Miller, and they are both veterans in the United States military. And they started the gene company while serving on active duty in the Army. The article doesn't really say how they came up with the concept, why genes, but the couple was working their way to owning their very own gene manufacturing center, where they'll be harvesting their own cotton and making their own gene fabric. Now, so all the operation is right here on U.S. soil, so that's the best part. It's all homegrown. They're not outsourcing any jobs or creating jobs for original people and for Army veterans. So that's monumental. You can follow their story at CMB Denim on Twitter or Charles Miller Brand on Facebook, at CMB Denim on IG. And then, of course, the website is, I think it's just cmb.com. Let me check. Sometimes it's different. Yeah, it's just cmbdenim.com is their main address, and then they have an about section and prices and everything they're doing with their company. So definitely check it out and support them. Clap it up for Charles and Tara Miller and the CMB Denim Company. Just having some little effects. Alrighty, so pushing on. I don't know what's going on. Just a sec. Check one, check two.
Bruh.
I don't know what's going on. It's like I'm not hearing. I don't know. Hope you guys can hear me. I'm not hearing my sound effects, so I don't know. I'm gonna just try something right quick. Check one, check two. Okay. It was just I guess it was just my earbud part. So I got a microphone part and then I got an earbud part. But anywho, trying to find the next story, excuse me. All right. Headline reads on the next story. Meet the couple whose app helps track racial incidents and finds missing Black people. So, although I've chosen to abolish that from my vocabulary, like, the rest of the world still says Black. So that's how the article reads. That's why I'm saying it. This technology was developed by James Samuel Jr. and his wife, Evelyn. And the name of the tech is called Angel Tech. It has live stream capabilities and location sharing. So basically, it's like an Amber Alert system for, racial injustice and, like it says, missing Black people. Just inputs the data. Not quite sure how it works, the technology. I'm guessing it's still kind of in developmental stages, but it's definitely needed and definitely innovative. So, right on time, innovating as we do as a people. So we're going to give a warm round of applause for James and Evelyn and their Angel Tech app. Next article says this Black-owned barbershop opened more than 70 years ago and is still in business today. And the name of the barbershop is Arnett's Barbershop. It was founded in 1945 by Charles Arnett in Carbondale, Illinois. This is back in the time where people did more than just go to the barber shop just to get your hair cut. This was like most barber shops were, the headquarters for the civil rights movement. This particular barbershop was, acted as a headquarters for many civil rights meetings. And it is history. It's still going, thriving still today. And it's under new management. The new owner's name is Kent Mason, but the architecture of the building is still the same. A whole lot of the chairs, original equipment is still on display inside the shop. So he's keeping it really authentic and keeping the legacy of Arnett's thriving. And I believe it's probably like a relative. I think it's a family-owned business. So, the next time you're in Illinois, go visit Arnett's Barbershop. And clap it up for Mr. Mason and Arnett's Barbershop. And I think I saved the absolute best for last. This story is very inspiring and motivational. This is a story the headline reads, Dylan Chittick, a homeless teen, defies all odds and gets accepted into 17 colleges on his own. So Dylan moved from Trinidad to the United States when he was 7 years old. They spent 8 years in the first 8 years of his life in Brooklyn. Then at some point they came to New Jersey, and after they got to Jersey City, the mother lost her job, and it was just a horrible chain of events after that. After they moved to Jersey City, two of his brothers have heart conditions, and but he never lost focus. He stayed on his job in school, stayed committed to school, and kept on applying for colleges. His story went viral, and basically now he has a full ride scholarship. The community pitched in, so he doesn't even have to pay tuition now. I forgot to write down what college he decided on, but I did watch the interviews of the Good Morning America. And he seems like a bright young man, and I expect some really good things coming from him in the future. So you can just definitely follow his story for yourself. Dylan Chittick. It's spelled Dylan. Chittick. Chadwick. So it's spelled Chadwick, but pronounced Chittick. I think it's a Trini thing. I don't know. But kudos to that young man, and definitely a living example of overcoming adversity and the human spirit. And that's just basically, what we do as a people. No matter what they come up with, we always find a way to overcome and win. So give a warm round of applause for Dylan Chittick. All right, so that is all the articles I have to share today. So, like I said, for the new people, newly listening, I'm just going to, go over my normal format on a full broadcast day. I broadcast every weekend, and then my lives, like today, it's just randomly. I never know what days I'm going to go live. Monday through Friday. I don't usually go live twice in 1 week because, like I said, I do full broadcast days on Saturday. So I think it would be just like overkill to do 2 or 3 during the week. But who knows? Anything's possible. I might do 2 lives in a week. But you definitely want to always tune in to the Narrative Podcast on a regular basis to avoid missing a live broadcast like today. Another way you can do that is to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And it's just Halsey Allen, Hallzie Allen on YouTube. That's just my viewer page. It's not specifically for the Narrative Podcast, but I got it to where it just automatically uploads all my lives to my YouTube. And then also, you can follow me on Twitter, Halsey on Twitter, to avoid missing a live episode of the Narrative Podcast because, again, I got it set up to where it just automatically broadcasts to my Twitter, just like my YouTube. And so that's protocol to not miss my lives. And I broadcast every single weekend. So, tune in to this weekend for a full broadcast of the Narrative Podcast. And I'm going to dive into my format just like right now. Okay, so first I started off by a segment where I'm offering free promotion, and I call that the promo segment. And the reason why I'm doing this is I'm offering original people that own and operate their own businesses the opportunity to get free promotion for it by hitting me up at passionwebmail@poeticpassion.host. And if they need or would like some free promotion, just type promo in the subject bar. And in the body of the email, tell me a little bit about yourself, business, product, service, and your business. Tell me a little bit about your business. The more detailed you are, the better I can give you a proper plug. The more information you supply me with, the better the promo will be. So be specific as possible. If you got a brick and mortar location, give me your physical address, hours of operation, and all that good stuff, as well as, your educational background, like what prompted you to, start this business, goods and services, anything you might do for the community. If you're hiring or not, I want to know that too, because I'm sure the listeners would like to know. So include anything you want to know about your company, and I will gladly promote it for 100% free on my platform, on the Narrative Podcast. You don't got nothing to lose. I don't want nothing from you. You don't even have to give me a shout out if you don't want to. But in that section, what I'm doing is just basically doing my part to help circulate the original people dollar in the original people community. So, second part of the my normal broadcast today is the contest plug. I'm currently running a contest called the Chew On This Contest, and to enter that contest, you hit me up at that same email address. The way I'm separating both of them is through the subject bars. So for the Chew On This contest, hit me up at passionwebmail@poeticpassion.host. And in the body of the email, share your most recent shopping while Black experience and your mailing address, so I know where to send it and what type of snack you want. So again, to participate in the Chew On This contest, hit me up at passionwebmail@poeticpassion.host. In the subject bar, Chew On This / shopping while Black. Body of the email, supply me with your most recent shopping while Black experience. Mailing address, and then what type of snack you want. Tell me what type of snack you want, and I'm going to send you a bulk supply of it just for entering the contest for free. You don't have to pay me any money to enter. Don't want your information. Doing that for a couple reasons. One is to provide, incentive to listen to me. Or if you've already been listening to me, entering this contest will show, your devotion, your loyalty, that you're listening, and I'm giving you, a prize for being an avid listener to my program. And then also to get feedback and listener participation. And to keep the conversation going about shopping while Black, because it's just something that continuously happens to everybody, not just here in America, but abroad as well. So we have to keep the conversation going while we are, getting back to how we were before segregation, owning our own businesses and schools and such. And so we get it universal across the board. We have to keep the conversation going because we need to get treated like human beings and not followed around the store, not have subpar customer service, and just, treated subhuman just because you don't want us in your establishment. All right, so next section. The next section is the highlight section, and in that section, what I'm doing is highlighting businesses owned and operated by original people. So like original people owned businesses, types of business in addition to just being owned and operated by. They hire their own, do some type of philanthropy, some type of giving back to the community. Also, I'm looking for people that, had little to no experience in the particular business. Like they just kind of figured it out as they went. If they did go to college, it didn't necessarily line up with their major or what they went to school for. It was just like a passion thing because they wanted to do it. And then lastly, it aligns up with my theme, and the current theme until the end of this month is the theme of summer. So this is the last month of summer. So after this month, no more summer themed highlighted original people-owned businesses, because we'll be moving into the fall. Like they already got the back to school, they already got the Halloween stuff up. And then I guess after this year's going, because then probably after Labor Day, it'll be, Christmas stuff up. Halloween and Christmas. But that's what I do in that section, the highlight section. And then the next up, I transition into my spotlight section. And my spotlight section is where I'm giving a prominent figure in the original people community their roses while they're here. And it's usually someone in the entertainment industry, a recording artist, actor, actress, athlete, comedian, public figure, writer, producer, somebody, like I said, in the entertainment industry. Giving them their roses while they're here for, holding us in a positive light, speaking, using their platform to speak on the cause, to help with the cause, doing some type of philanthropy, something in the soil, and just, being an all-around good brother or an all-around good sister. And so, like I said, giving them their roses while they're here. And then not for nothing, I started the wave for spotlighting, because before I started doing spotlighting, nobody on the internet, no other shows was talking about spotlight before I started doing the spotlight. And that's where I'm a little over 100 episodes in right now. You can go back and check, do your own research. But this is Mark's episode, this live broadcast marks episode 117 for me. Start doing this podcast last year during the pandemic. Like we was just coming out of lockdown. Just coming out of lockdown when I started. I don't even think we was even a month out yet. And when I started, I did not have a format. I just kind of started talking, and then I broke it down into sections that, like I'm telling you, all the sections that I'm rifling off. I have speaking points for each section now. When I started, I didn't have a theme music. I have theme music now. When I started, I didn't have a professional sounding bumper. I have a professional bumper sounding now. I've done projects. Pretty much everything that I've talked about on my podcast as it relates to us has come to pass. So, really start listening to me, because I'm kind of prophetic. Everything that I've issued a warning about has come to pass. On my platform. So I'm not right all the time, but most of the time I've been right. Okay, so after that section, after the spotlight section, I do the health and wellness section. And in that section, what I'm doing is just promoting the healthy, active, fit lifestyle, giving tips, for full body wellness, to keep yourself mentally and physically fit. So, mindful breathing, mental exercises, as well as things you can eat in your diet, and physical exercises you can do to keep yourself healthy, active, and fit. So most of the times it's usually like the health benefits of a fruit, vegetable, plant, herb, etc. And then sometimes it's like a mindful breathing type exercises, mental health, and then, like I said, physical exercises as well. And no, I'm not a guru. I'm not I don't have a degree. I'm not a Reiki healer. I'm not a herbalist. I'm just providing tips and tricks, or tips that has worked for me, and things I think you should incorporate into your lifestyle. You can do your own due diligence, because we're all, all our genetic makeup is differently. So what works for me probably would not work for you, and vice versa. But, my target audience is, original people, melanated people. For, most of the tips I give work for our, physiology and things that we have went through mentally. So after the health and wellness tip, I have the speaking point of the day, and it's usually like current events, whatever's going on in the world from our perspective, telling our stories, because history has shown us if you don't tell your story, you will have your story told for you. And the story they want to tell about us is a sad, dysfunctional story. So whatever's going on in our world, I unpack it from our perspective in that section. And then my last section is the final thoughts. And my final thought of the day, I usually deliver a pearl of wisdom, a gem, a jewel, whatever you want to call it, just something to leave on your mind, let it resonate on your mind, and inspire, if nothing else, inspire critical thinking, just not to take anything or anyone at face value. And just something to think about. And that's it. That is the complete, full narrative podcast experience. Like I said, today is just a random live. And what I did is just share, positive frames of reference, share the articles, and hopefully I will inspire you to want to share positive things on your timelines, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Instagram, Tumblr, TikTok, whatever your platform is. Make sure you're sharing something positive about your people and your culture. YouTube. Just creating positive content is my overall takeaway I want from this podcast experience. And just like I said, I want to normalize being normal. The original people family structure, that's normal. Just living in dysfunction, waking up and going to sleep in dysfunction is not normal. And this is the images they try to project and push on us. And say, this is y'all. This is how you guys are every single day, without even addressing the why part of it. And then, like I said, they do this. It's a form of psychological warfare when they bombard us with all these negative stereotypes and stigmas. And they use it to, manipulate the masses and create laws around these stereotypes and keep us boxed in. This is like why a lot of banks will not loan original people money for businesses and homes. Like they just had they still currently got a Wells Fargo lawsuit going on because they was denying original people homeowner loans. So if you think negative stereotypes don't affect you, you better think again. It affects you and people around you. Every time we're falsely represented. I don't think I really have any commentary today. Nothing really thought-provoking is going on in the world. Concerning us anyway, they're talking about monkeypox, new little. I have been already said that a long time ago before, like the CDC issued a warning about it. I has already said that to keep an eye out for that on my platform. So that's why you guys should listen to the Narrative podcast on a regular basis. I'm always saying prophetic stuff like that. So basically just continue to stockpile your water supply, keep your water supply plentiful. Keep on stocking up on your non-perishable food items. Continue to keep earning passive streams of income because like they keep showing us, they can like just really shift everything with the touch of a button. So be prepared. If this experience has taught us nothing, is to be prepared. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. That would be my only thing I would have for today, as I feel there's nothing really pressing going on in the world right now concerning us. It's a whole lot of, gossip and rumors, and I don't do that on my platform. So you already know the new stuff. That's really the only things going around is the he say, she say. So thanks for listening. Make sure when I share this back on all platforms is to download this episode of the Narrative Podcast and all previously recorded episodes of the Narrative Podcast. If you have not done so, please download them today. So it's like just a downward arrow you click on. You can download it. Then next to that arrow, just like a little heart button like everything else. Click the heart button, and then they also have a share feature on it as well. Next to the heart button is a share, so you can share it on all platforms as well. But the main thing I want you to do is to download it. That's the biggest way to support my podcast is to download this episode and all previously recorded episodes of the Narrative Podcast. Also, I have my own personal poetry blog called Halsey's Poetry Corner. I just uploaded something today. I've been not on my job on posting. I write every single day, but I just kind of fell off my feng shui as far as posting my content, my poetry content. But please support that as well, because that'll get funneled back into, the podcast to, help bring more clarity. So my, better equipment, so I'm more audible, so you can hear me better. The clarity be more crisp. Can add effects, start having guests. But support my poetry blog too. It's called Halsey's Poetry Corner at www.mrhalseysblogs.com on blogger.com, powered by Adam. And how you support that is just take, that link, anything, any one of those poems posted on Halsey's Poetry Corner, share it on all platforms, whatever platform you got, a Facebook, a Twitter, a Tumblr, YouTube, Pinterest, whatever you got, Reddit, Dig. I don't know if people still use Dig or whatever you're using. Just make sure Twitter, whatever you're using, just share one of my poems to your platforms, TikTok, whatever, YouTube. Just make sure you share them. That is my time. Join me this weekend, for a full episode of the Narrative Podcast. Enjoy the rest of your week. Thanks for listening today. So join me this weekend for another full episode of the Narrative Podcast. Halsey Allen, the Narrative Podcast, signing off. Thanks for listening. Love.
Set your place on fire. Put a little bit of shit, put a little bit of shit, get a little bit of gasoline. Put a little bit of shit,
You are now listening to the Narrative Podcast with Halsey Allen. The Narrative Podcast is changing the narrative one episode at a time.